Hello, Tim here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about sharpening a whittling knife. After you work with a whittling knife for a while, it gets dull. So we're going to go through the steps that I do to get it back and get an edge on there so you can get back to work. So these are my two workhorse knives. I've used these. I have several, but I use these quite extensively in some other videos too. After a while of using them, any tool will get dull over time, and that a dull tool is more dangerous in that you're working harder and you might slip and do yourself an injury. One of the ways I tell if an edge needs to be dealt with, I feel a little bit of roughness, and I drag it on the back of my nail, and I feel a little bit of a bump there. I feel pretty good here. Right there I feel a little bit. If you need to go touch them up, and I use oil stones here for the knives, and this is just regular mineral oil, and this stone here, I'm getting this wet with oil. This is a medium India stone, and these two stones used to be in a box that kind of flipped it over back and forth, and that box broke one time, and I've never put them into a box again. I just kind of use them free like this here. So I'm holding this at a very slight angle. Try to use the whole surface of the stone. Now this one is going to take the metal down a little quicker, but not too quick. You never want to grind these unless you happen to, for some reason, break it, break the tip off or something. You have to reshape it. The last couple of passes, I go back and forth like this here. That gets the burrs off. Now let me see if I can feel it's gone, that little divot. This flex tool, the same thing. I'm going to spread the oil. The oil keeps the little metal filings. You'll see how it gets, your finger gets kind of dark with the metal that it cuts off. It doesn't cut as fast as water stones, which I covered in a different video on sharpening a chisel. This is a little different procedure than a chisel. So I've got a very low angle. I'm coming back. Back and forth. I'm feeling just a little bit still there. It's not too bad. A rag or paper towels were good to wipe the oil off. Now I'm going to set that stone aside and go to white Arkansas. This is a natural stone, and this one really puts the edge on. A lot of times when I just have to do a quick touch up, I go to the white Arkansas stone. When you see the oil get a little dark on top, you know that the metal's being cut. So again, carefully. Now I feel that little rough edge is out of there. Okay, that's pretty good. Get a little more oil on here. Again, the oil just helps keep the stone clear. You don't put oil on a water stone or put water on an oil stone. Just keep those, oil and water don't mix. Okay. And I like pushing pressure down. Make sure you do equal. You don't get one side more honed than the other. It doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. When you're watching something like this, you can't feel what I'm feeling on here. Just be careful. Just be careful with what I'm doing here. I'm just dragging it lightly on my nail. I can feel a little rough edge. And I just want to be sure that as you watch this or try it, that you don't put pressure on there. You don't want to get cut yourself. This is the way I do it anyway. Not everybody maybe has the same approach. All right, so now that's pretty good. The final step, which is really important, is wipe off your stones so you don't leave them dirty. It helps keep them clean and ready for the next time. This is actually an old weightlifting belt. That nice chunk of leather. This green stuff is a buffing compound, and it's there's different grits of this. There's a black one called black emery for really rough work, and there's a red one that's called red rouge. That's for polishing like brass or silver or something like that. So this is kind of a medium grit, and it turns green when you rub it on here like this, and it'll turn black as we strop it. This stropping action is opposite of what I do. I drag it rather as opposed to cut into it. If you come in this way into it, you're going to cut your leather up, and you don't want to do that. And do that the same with this one here. And sometimes it builds up the stuff, so I use the back side of the knife here, and scrape it off and reapply it. It's doing its job when you see it turning black. So let's recap this. As you're carving and you notice your tool getting dull, then the only thing you got to do is go back and strop it. And I can strop this maybe a dozen times or more before I need to go back to this stone here and touch it up and then go back to the strop. And eventually, the more you strop it, the edge is going to get rounded. And you need to go back and reshape your edge, and that's why I go to this stone here and reshape that edge. And when you got a nick in there or something like that and you got to take that out, then you got to go to this stone here, and that's what I felt. I felt a little divot in there. And then, so you go through these 3 steps. You don't need to go through all these 3 stones every time. It's just this side. There's one more step, and that's the smooth side of your leather. And a lot of times that's all you got to do is just redo it like that and touch it up. Like the old straight razors, that's all they did was strop it when you're going to shave. And that just puts the fine edge on there. And the test is in the cutting. Let's grab a piece of pine and do what I call the end grain test. And I say that's pretty good. Do the same with this one here. Yeah, that's a lot better. I see it's shiny there. That's what I want. And that's all there is to it. That's the simple approach. And just do the one strop on the smooth side. Take it a little more aggressive on the green side, the buffing compound side. And a little more aggressive is the white Arkansas, and the more aggressive is your medium India stone. You should never have to take these to a grinding wheel unless for some reason you broke it and have to reshape the knife. And that should serve you well. That's it. Keep your tools sharp and keep them touched up. And if you like what you see, if you found something helpful, leave your comments and give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.